Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of Like an Old Proud King in a Parable by A.J. M. Smith. Smith begins the poem by saying, a bitter king. Bitter is a taste which we feel we don't like. Here, a bitter king refers to a king who did not like his kingship. And this bitter king, in anger to be gone, so he was very angry about his position and he wanted to go away. He wanted to go away from fawning courtier. Fawning means a person who is always praising. So these courtiers are always praising the king about whatever he does and how he is and all that, and so he does not want to be with his courtiers. And doting queen. Doting is a word which is generally associated with mother. We will say doting mother. So we can understand that this queen loved the king a lot and she showered him with her love and she loved him the way he was and accepted him the way he is. Only thing is the king was not able to accept his lifestyle. And what he did is he flung hollow sceptre. Sceptre is the rod which the kings all hold in their hand. And when you say hollow sculpture, hollow is something where nothing will be inside, it will be empty inside. So even this king felt the hollowness inside him. He was not very happy about being the king. And gilt crown away. Gilt means artificial. So crown is a symbol which is always associated with the king. But when you say gilt crown, it means that this king felt that his life as a king is artificial. And breaking bond of all his counties green. So he broke all his boundaries and he wanted to go away from his kingdom. He made a meadow in the Northern Stone. Northern Stone is actually a place in Canada, but some people say that Canada itself is in north. And so he made a meadow. Meadow is a flat grassland, and he made that in the Northern Stone and breathed a palace of inviolable air. Inviolable means pure air, clean air. So he made a palace in nature. He wanted to live in nature, not the palace where the king will live. And why he made this palace is to cage a heart that carolled like a swan, because his heart was like a swan, happily singing songs and swimming in the water. So he wanted to cage his heart which was like a swan and slept alone. Generally the king will be surrounded by many people, but now the king came to the meadow and he slept alone. Immaculate and gay. Immaculate means, again here it means pure, and gay means very happy. So now he was alone and he was very pure and he was very happy with only his pride for a paramour. Paramour here means generally we say a secret lover. So here he had his pride. Here the pride is the happiness what he considers is more important than anything else. And if you actually see in this poem, he considers intellectual beauty more important than anything else in this world, more than being a king. And also he wanted to become a poet. So that was his pride, and that was the secret longing which he had in his mind. So this is the explanation for the first stanza. And in the second stanza, the king itself talks about himself as a third person. He says, oh, who is that bitter king? It is not I. So he says, who was the bitter king? It is not I, because now I have given away my kingship. Let me, I beseech thee. Beseech means beg or request, pleadingly. So he says, let me, I beseech thee, father, die. So here father refers to the king itself. He says, I am begging you to die. Die from what is? From this fat royal life. Don't want this royal life. Just leave that kingship there. We need not be, I need not be a king. And lie as naked as a bridegroom by his bride. And let me be free, like how a bridegroom will be with his bride. And let that girl be the cold goddess bride. And he says that this bride is nothing but intellectual beauty. So he says, let me be with this goddess bride, because when I am giving more importance to my intellectual beauty, and when I am writing poems, I will feel happy as though I am with goddess itself. And I will sing to the barren rock your difficult lonely music heart. And then in the finally he says, what I am going to do in this meadow is I want to sing music. I want to sing poems. I want to write a lot of poetry. And he wants to be like an old proud king in a parable. So here he ends the poem by saying that his ambition is to become a king, and so he comes and lives in the meadow and he writes poems, and we will see some more details about this This poem was written by A.J.M. Smith, and this appeared in McGill Fortnightly Review in the year 1926. It should be understood that A.J.M. Smith belongs to the Montreal group, which is also called as McGill movement or Milgram group. Why it is called so is because this was formed somewhere around 1920 in the McGill University, which is in Quebec. And it also included people like Leon Edel, John Glasgow, A.M. Klein, Leo Kennedy, F.R. Scott, and of course A.J.M. Smith. And these people followed W.H. Auden, T.S. Eliot, and Ezra Pound. And in this poem, Smith narrates the story of an old king who abandons his kingdom to become a poet. And it can also say that Smith was actually telling what he wanted to do in life and how he became a poet. And in this poem, he has also broken some of the old poetic conventions, and he has brought novelty into the society. And he says how a king who is bored of his kingdom, and he leaves, renounces the kingdom, and he leaves the flattering courtiers and also his adoring queen, and sacrifices his kingly life and goes to a lonely land, which is a meadow in the Northern Stone. Northern Stone is a part in the northern parts of the Canada, and it's a land which is filled with mountains, snow, and forests. That is, it's a place filled with nature. And here the king rejoices his life, and he feels that after coming here he is like an uncontrollable swan, and he wants to give up his worldly life, and he wants to live an isolated life in this Northern Stone. And in the second stanza, he employs a device of depersonalization, and here he calls himself, he talks about himself as a third person, and he also says that he has given up the worldly life to seek the goddess of pride. And here the goddess of pride is intellectual beauty, and he realizes that intellectual beauty is more important than worldly pleasures. And here he wants to sing songs to the barren rocks. Barren means where nothing is there, nothing is produced there. And actually the end of the poem is ironically a self-mockery, because the speaker of the poem prays to be able to learn a proud isolated art in spite of its rare possibility of achievement. And this is how he ends the poem, but he says that he wants to become a poet, and for that he is willing to give up anything. It's a very beautiful poem. I hope you love this video, and if you want to add something to this, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe. Thank you.